Welcome to Light of the Hill Ministries. Today we will be reading through what the world commonly calls the Gospels, also known as the Good News. Before we begin, I'd like to share a little context. Over the years, I have personally translated portions of the Hebrew, Greek and Aramaic New Covenant, while also consulting various Bible translations to best convey the meaning of the text. Rather than following the traditional verse-by-verse format, we will be reading the scriptures text by text. This is simply a reading of the word in chronological order, without commentary or teaching, allowing the scriptures to speak for themselves. So, wherever you are, take a moment to settle your heart and listen to the words of our Master. May Yahweh bless you, and shalom to your homes. And now, let us begin the reading. Shepherds in the fields. And there were shepherds that were staying in the fields, keeping watch over their flock at night. And see, the messenger of Yahweh stood before them, and the splendor of Yahweh shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. And the messenger said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring good news to you of great joy, which shall be to all people. For you today, in the city of David, a child has been born who is the Messiah, the Master. And this shall be a sign to you. You shall find the child wrapped in clothes and laying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the messenger a lot of the heavenly host, praising and saying to Elohim, Honor in the highest to Elohim, and on earth shalom with men whom he is pleased. And when the messengers went up to the sky above them, and the shepherds said one to another, Please let us go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened which Yahweh has made known to us. And they rushed, and came and found Miriam and Joseph, and the child lying in the manger. And they saw and they made known the word which had been said to them about this boy. And all that heard wondered about the things that were told to them by the shepherds. And Miriam kept these things, and she thought on them in her heart. And the shepherds returned and boasted and praised Elohim for all that they had heard and seen, just as it had been told to them. And there was 8 days that had passed, and the boy was circumcised, and he, Joseph, called his name Yahushua, by the name which the messenger called him before he was conceived in the womb. Yahushua set apart at the temple. And completed were the days of their purification according to the Torah of Moshe, and they brought him up to Jerusalem to present him before Yahweh. As it is written in the Torah of Yahweh, every male that opens the womb shall be called, set apart to Yahweh. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, And on the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin is circumcised. And she remains in the blood of her cleansing 33 days. She does not touch whatever is set apart, and she does not come into the set-apart place until the days of her cleansing are completed. Leviticus chapter 12 verses 2-4. Set apart to me all the firstborn, the one opening the womb among the children of Israel, among man and among beast, it is mine. Exodus chapter 13 verse 2. And to offer a sacrifice according to the commands of the Torah of Yahweh, 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons. And if she is not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, one as a burnt offering and the other as a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for her, and she shall be clean. Leviticus chapter 12 verse 8. And see, a man in Jerusalem whose name was Shimon listens, and he is a righteous man and a kind one. Looking for the comfort of Israel, and the set-apart spirit was on him, and it had been revealed to him by the set-apart spirit that he would not see death before he had seen Yahweh's Messiah. And he came in the spirit into the temple, and when his parents brought in the child Yahushua to carry out for him after the custom of the Torah, and took him into his arms on the blessed Elohim, and said, Now release your servant in peace, according to your word, Master, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the presence of all peoples. Light to illuminate the eyes of the nations, and the beauty of your people Israel. And his father and mother were surprised by what is being said about him. And Shimon blessed them, and said to Miriam his mother, Behold, this one is set for the fall and rise of many in Israel, and for a sign to be opposed, and a sword shall pierce your own soul, to the end that thoughts from many hearts may be revealed. And there was a prophetess, Hannah, Favor, daughter of Phanuel, face of El, of the tribe of Asher, blessed, and she was advanced in many days, and had lived with her husband 7 years after her virginity. And she was a widow till 84 years, she never left from the temple of Elohim, serving night and day with fasting and requesting favor. And at that time she came up and gave thanks to Yahweh, and spoke of him unto all those who were looking for the redemption of Jerusalem. And they did all according to the Torah of Yahweh. And it came to pass in the days of Herodes the king, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Yehuda, and Magushiim, astrologers, came from the land of East Jerusalem. And they said, Where is the king of the Yehudim who has been born? For we saw his star in the east, and have come with important gifts to worship him. And it was that Herodes the king heard their words, and he trembled, and all Jerusalem with him. And he assembled all the chief priests and scribes of the people, and asked them, saying, Where the Messiah was to be born. And said to him, In Bethlehem of Yehuda, for this is what has been written by the hand of the prophet, But you, Beth-lechem Ephrathah, you who are little among the clans of Yehudah, out of you shall come forth to me the one to become ruler in Yisrael. And his comings forth are of old, from everlasting. Micah chapter 5 verse 2. Then Herodes called the Megushim secretly and inquired of them what time the star appeared. And he sent him away to Beth-lechem and said, Go and search carefully for the boy, and when you have found him, report to me so that I may come and worship him also. And it came to pass when they heard the words of the king, they went, and behold, the star which they had seen in the east went before them until it came and stood over where the child was. And they saw the star, they rejoiced greatly with much joy. And they came to the home and found the child with his mother Miriam, and they fell on their faces to the ground and worshipped him. They had opened their treasures and presented to him sacrifices of gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herodes, they left for their own country by another way. And when they left, behold, a messenger of Yahweh appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, Take the child and mother and you run to Mitzrayim, and remain there until I tell you. For Herodes searches to destroy the soul of the boy. And he arose and took the child and his mother and escaped to Mitzrayim by night. And was there until the death of Herodes, that might be fulfilled which was spoken by Yahweh by the hand of the prophet, saying, When Yisrael was a child, I loved him, and out of Mitzrayim I called my son. Hosea chapter 11 verse 1. Then Herodes saw that he had been mocked by the Megushim and was very wroth, and sent and slew all the children that were in Beth-lechem and all its borders from 2 years and under by the time which he had determined from the Megushim. Then was filled what was spoken by Yirmiyahu the prophet, saying, Thus said Yahweh, a voice was heard in Ramah, wailing, bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children, refusing to be comforted for her children, because they are no more. Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 15. And it came to pass after the death of Herodes, the messenger of Yahweh appeared in a dream to Joseph in the land of Mitzrayim, and he said to him, Take the child and his mother and go back to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's soul are dead. And he arose and took the child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. And when he heard that Archelaus, prince of the people, was king over Yehudah in place of his father Herodes, and he was afraid to go there. And after being warned in a dream by Elohim, he left for the land of Galilee. And he came and dwelled in a city called Nazareth, branch, thus to fill what was spoken by the prophets, he shall be called a Nazarene. And your people, all of them righteous, shall inherit the land forever, a branch, Netzah, of my planting, a work of my hands, to be adorned. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 21. For he grew up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form or splendor that we should look upon him, nor appearance that we should desire him. Isaiah chapter 53 verse 2. Then they returned to Galilee, to their city Nazareth. Thank you for watching and listening. If you found this to be a blessing, please consider sharing, liking, and please click on the notification button to be notified of the next good news reading. Also, please comment below on how we can pray for you and how this has blessed you. Yahweh bless and shalom to your homes.